Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Part of the Pride and Aston Villa Women podcast. Nearly forgot what we were called there. That would have been a good start, wouldn't it? We are the people who talk about Villa every week. That's exactly who we are. But of course, I can never do this by myself. Gladly joined by a lovely team this evening. Emily, how are you? Lovely to see you.
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I've moved rooms, so everything's a little bit different, but yeah,
you brought
I'm
your
good.
flag with you.
Yeah, the flag came with me.
I know, it looks good. And Gary, how are you?
It's nice to be back as part of the pride, you know.
I know it's been a while. You've been working hard.
Well, I don't know about working hard, but, you know, I've been there anyway.
You were showing up. You were putting in an appearance. Yeah, that's fine. Nick, how are you?
Good. My brain is a bit broken, so I might look at you blankly when you ask me questions today, but I'm we'll try.
Hey, you're in the right company. There's any other podcast where who knows what's going to happen? It's this one. So it's fine. It's fine. We're all on the same page. And Emma, how are you? How's your Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi is, at the moment, doing okay. But who knows at this point? With the week I've had and the way my brain has also been, anything can happen.
Okay, cool. Well, just to remind everyone, we are here to talk about Villa, but who knows? Who knows what will happen? And Tracy, lovely to see you.
Hello, Freya.
Am I in trouble? Oh, that's it, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Move. Okay, so after that, right, let's talk about the match then, shall we? So this was match day 2, of course, of the Women's League Cup, as yet untitled, as yet unsponsored. Although we've said it before, nothing's really going to beat the Conti Cup, is it? Like nothing.
I always keep calling it that. So.
It's still the Conti Cup.
Yeah, everyone does, don't they? It was fun hearing Robert DePaul saying Conti Cup because for some reason you just don't expect him that to come out as well.
Everyone knows what you're talking about then, don't they?
Well, exactly, yeah. If you say the League Cup, like, yeah, but which one's that one? So yeah, we'll just keep doing it. Just keep calling it the Conti Cup. Now, so yes, Emma. 3 minutes in. That's it.
Just because I'm cold, and now the teddy bear is on the floor. There we go.
We're meant to be team here on a Wednesday. It's not meant to come over to a Thursday. This is meant to be a safe space. But no, she's putting her dressing gown on. Right, we're good. Are you warm? Are you comfy? Are you happy? Warmer.
Probably.
Right. Well, we won't keep you too long, don't worry. Then you can get back into bed with your hot water ball. It's Now, first time out in the League Cup then, we did win against Crystal Palace. Just in those last 10 minutes, managed to get a 2-0 victory. So this one was really, we said, off the back of the league win against Crystal Palace, this was our shot. And Emily, you kind of said, didn't you? You were like, right, come on, cup run. We don't have the league this season, so let's get to it. So Emily, what were your thoughts kind of coming into this match?
I was hopeful like you said, off the back of the league win, that we could sort of get a bit of momentum going. I think I said previously that it's a bit of a shame that, like last year, even though the league results weren't going our way, we had the easier quote unquote games in the cup to sort of boost things a bit. And then unfortunately, obviously this time we've already had Crystal Palace, but we've got Spurs, who are obviously another WSL team. So it was going to be a tougher match anyway. But I was hopeful we could get something from it. Alas.
Alas. And that should just be it. That's the pod done. Such high hopes. And yet. And yet it all went wrong. Now, there was some rotation this time, wasn't there? And we're always saying, right, we'd love to see Mads getting some minutes back. You know, where's Noelle been? Is she okay? Get Dree starting. There were 8 changes. So, Nick, I'm going to come to you for this one. In your opinion, when that kind of formation came out, and subsequently how they then did, was it a couple of changes too many, do you think? Or how do you think that impacted how the game actually went?
I mean, I was happy with the back line because all of the people in the back line were defenders. So kudos for that one. We got that right. From there forward, a little bit confusing when we had a forward and a midfielder up front, and then we had a forward and 3 midfielders in midfield. I feel like maybe fairly obvious mistake there. I think there was too many rotations for Spurs. Had that have been the lineup we played against someone that wasn't liable to kick our bums, I would have been okay with it, but not against Spurs.
Yeah, considering Spurs put out a pretty decent lineup as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was going to say they didn't change much, did they?
No. Gary, do you feel like that kind of, I don't know, did that kind of put any thoughts like, oh, we're not really wanting to go for it in the League Cup? Or do you think he rotated genuinely believing that this could be like the key? This is a new way to go forward.
I personally do think that he rotated, thinking that it would be the way forward. It's a chance to give other players minutes because well, we've seen ourselves the Maz isn't getting many minutes and stuff like that. But if you're going to have the players there and the depth in the squad, you're going to want to be able to give them minutes as well in competitions, so that they're not coming in cold, I suppose. So I think it was the right thing for what he done. And although it was Spurs and some of the things maybe were slightly confusing and it maybe wasn't the strongest team to put out against the team that Spurs had brought on, we actually did hold our ground pretty well in the game. And the goal that we conceded, there wasn't a keeper that was stopping that. So it's kind of, I can see what he's done, but the substitutes in the second half was where it started to get me. The first half was great. Second half, question marks.
I think, well, so again, we talk about subs. They didn't come on till the 74th and the 84th minute. And you think you've already conceded, what was it, 60th, 62nd or something like that? You think, okay, can we, if clearly what we're doing is not working, what can we change? So Tracy, did it feel like, 'cause I know you were there watching it, did it feel like it was a game of two halves? Or how do you, what are your thoughts?
I felt that we dominated throughout. Personally, I felt that we dominated throughout. We just can't finish. I don't know what's going on, why we can't. There were plenty of opportunities, I felt, watching the game live. Just take some chances. I get the impression sometimes that there are players, and because they're not forwards or they're not strikers, they've got the ball and there's a clear chance for them to shoot and score, and they won't. They'll pass the ball rather than give it a go, because it's as if they feel that it's not their place to do so, because that's not their position. There was a couple of instances of that. I don't know how Kenza didn't score. She literally took the ball from the halfway line all the way down to the bottom, then straight across goal. She almost got inside the goal. And I don't know how she didn't get the ball in. But I just feel sometimes that, and I've noticed this. I noticed it last year as well. And I've noticed it all of this season. There are a few opportunities where players could score, but I just feel they feel it's not their place to, and they'd rather pass the ball than give it a go.
Yeah, it's like they second guess themselves and think, I'll do the safe thing and just
exactly. I'll do what I'm supposed to do or what I'm expected to do, rather than give it a go. And that goal that they got, that's because they took a chance. She took a chance. She saw Sabs off the line, and she took a chance. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. That was a distance goal, wasn't it? It was. It was phenomenal. It was great, but she took the chance and she did it. And we should be doing that more. We really should. But overall, I thought we dominated the game. I thought we played really, really well.
I actually have to agree with Tracy on that. We do need to take more of those chances. It was the same as the Chelsea game. We put in a fantastic 90 minutes and got beat by a quality goal from well outside the box. But we don't take those chances. We almost try to walk the ball into the net. So I do agree with Tracy that we need to have players that are brave enough to have a go. I'm sure most of them have been watching the socials, and we've seen Dree in the Canadian training. And if she's sort of hitting free kicks from probably 25, 30 yards outside, and just putting them in the top corner.
Mm-hmm.
Take a pop.
Yeah.
You've got the skill. Take a pop.
Well, she's got to be on the pitch to do that, Gary.
Sorry?
She's got to be on the pitch to
that's
do that.
true.
I mean, she was on the pitch like this weekend, but she's got to be on the pitch to do that. And I think I'd say Nobbs will take a shot from distance, but again, she wasn't on the pitch.
That's very important.
I think that probably also comes with, like you were saying about minutes. I think that comes with not necessarily confidence, because obviously they're all professionals, but like getting into the flow of things. A bit like with Maz having only played like two games so far this season.
Yeah.
It's definitely got to be different to if you're starting every week, like getting back into the flow of your football and not second guessing yourself and just going for it.
I do think it is confidence as well, because if they're not starting, then their belief system will be that he doesn't believe in me enough to start me. So why is that?
We can only get 11 players on the pitch at the end of the day, and we've got a squad of what? Is it 23?
23, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We can only get 11 players on the pitch. If it'd be the same if somebody else, if they were on the pitch and somebody else had been excluded, people be moaning, well, why haven't they got so-and-so on the pitch? Why haven't they got so-and-so on the pitch?
I do think it's interesting, like, because we did rotate so much for this game and we still had the same finishing problem. So it's like a whole team thing. It's
block, isn't it?
A different front line, and they still have the same issues as like being clinical that the sort of first team does in the league games. Yeah. So it's like, to me, that says it's something like you said, that they're being coached to sort of keep the ball or, like we said, try and walk it in rather than just. And I mean, the Spurs keeper, it was her debut. We should have just been peppering her with shots.
Should have been.
Yeah, because we saw that line and we were like, oh, Spurs will switch the goalies out. Oh, right, yeah, fair game. Get her tested, but
we didn't test her.
We didn't test her. If we look at the stats, we had 10 shots, 4 on target, 2 off target, and 4 were blocked, and 4 saves for Heat. Yeah, 4 saves. Whereas Sabs had 7. Most of those were incredible. I think Sabs was our player of the match.
That game was first thing I wrote on my notes.
That being a very different game.
Yeah, it would have. If she wasn't so quick to change, it would not have been 1-0. Becky, hello, Becky. We try to pass the ball into the back of the net far too often when we have some very good players to shoot from distance. Yes, exactly. But yeah, it's that freedom, that confidence, and knowing that you've got that license to do that. And again, does that come from the back room? Does that come from your own mentality? Because again, like you said, if you're not playing, then you might not have that confidence. But I think it was more of a gelling issue as well, wasn't it? Because those 8 changes haven't been playing together in those combinations, they just weren't quite sure of where each other were.
There was
sorry.
No, you go, Tracy.
I was just going to say, a couple of examples that stood out for me was Katie Robinson. She got herself into a position a couple of times where she could have got that ball in the net. She seriously could have got that ball in the net, but rather than give it a go, she passed it on to someone else.
Yeah.
That makes me think that it is training, because when she played for Brighton, she would very much try to score.
Yeah.
It's like we're seeing a different Katie Robinson for Villa.
There were some really nice link-ups, because like Tracy said at the start, I do think overall, especially watching it back, like we did play well. There were some really nice moments in there where they were linking up well, and we sort of broke through their lines super quick. But it's like flashes of that, and then recycling it too much, and then having to start it all again. I think there was quite a lot of like excellent play getting it into the final third, and then we're just like, oh, and recycle it, and by then obviously Spurs are back and you've lost all of that momentum.
Yeah, it's almost as if right, with practice it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, that didn't quite go in, right, try again, back to the back. And it's not lacking initiative, but it feels like we keep saying it every single week, doesn't it? And it's frustrating to watch, because like you said, the positions they're getting in, like Miri Taylor, for example, how did we think Miri did? Because she was having a few shots, wasn't she?
She did have a good few shots, yeah.
She did. And again, it just takes someone to do that. Nick, my next thing was actually going to be on set pieces. Actually, Darley was on the pitch.
Yay!
She took a corner.
She did, and it was a good one.
It was a really good one, because then that ultimately fell to Miri, didn't it? Who almost got the opener, but just went just wide, didn't it? And you're just saying, oh, that could have done it. But yeah, again, there was that Darley Salmon link up with a Spurs mistake at the back, and you just thought, what's it going to take for that ball to go over the line, just at least momentarily? Now, there was a shout, wasn't there, when it looked like he almost like stepped back into the goal.
Missy Kearns took, well, this one occasion she did take a shot from further out. I'm not sure if it was a shot or if it was meant to be like a hopeful ball forward, but it was really windy, so I think the wind might have caught it. Yeah, it was definitely a moment where you could advocate for goal line technology, because we'll never know.
No, because definitely from kind of the camera angles and from the little clips that we got from you, Emily, actually, trying to piece all that together, it looked like it could have been a shout, didn't it? Another annoying shout, of course, was when in at half-time, 0-0, you think, right, okay, they're going to come out, they know what they've been struggling to do in the first half. Second half, Dree, almost hope restored, and then the flag was up, wasn't it? And again, Tracy, was that one of the moments where you thought Katie Robinson actually should have scored from where she was rather than crossing it?
Sorry, is that when the ball went in the net?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, right, and it was classed as a no goal, yeah? That was down the other end of the pitch. I couldn't see, could we, Emily? Really?
No,
what kind of happened? So
on Sunday we were like, no clue if that offside was
had no idea
or not. I think on watching it back, it was, but at the time we were like, with how bad this officiating has been, it probably isn't.
Yeah. So the original point with that was Katie Robinson did put the cross in, but she then crossed it to Dree, and Dree then scored it because she was offside. Yeah. So Katie Robinson, if she'd have just tried, it probably would have gone in, because she was at a really good angle, wasn't she?
That wasn't one of the two that I was talking about. I haven't actually watched the match back. So if that was the case, that was down the other end of the pitch, and I didn't really see what was going on down there. But definitely where we were, there were a couple of chances where I thought that Katie could have scored. So it sounds like she had quite a few opportunities then, if she'd just given it a go.
That build up to that offside goal though was probably one of the best passages of play. Like it was good. One touch passing, like from all the way from Sabs up to Maz putting the ball through in between the central defenders. And I think there was maybe a little bit of miscommunication between who she was putting the ball through to, because obviously Dree's run was offside, and it ended up going to Katie, who just chose to cross it rather than shoot.
Yeah, and you just think, oh, have a bit more confidence. And again, it's the League Cup. At the end of the day, you've got to try your best. If you don't get out the group stages, then like there's no use holding anything back, is there? So yeah, I think that's the most frustrating thing. If you've got a chance to mix it up, try new things, you do it in the cup. And if it works, well, hey, we'll bring it back to the league. But no, indeed. Beth England, of course, was close to opening the scoring for Spurs. That was just before the first half ended. And again, I think Sab saved that one with her thigh. That one was quite impressive. It was like a half jump deflection off. But yeah, honestly, that woman, that match was phenomenal. She almost got restored. Yeah, go on.
There were a couple of shouts. I don't know if you've got them listed down or not, but there are a couple of shouts down our end in the first half where I thought we could have had a penalty.
Yes, that was actually next up. So yeah, Emily, talk us through this one, because they could have argued a couple of shouts, couldn't we?
Yeah, one was on Dree, where she sort of got tripped or pulled back, which from the angle we were sat at was pretty obvious. Nothing was given. The lino didn't, try and get the referee's attention or anything. They just carried on.
Is that the one where she gave a corner instead of the penalty?
I think that might have been.
There was one that was definitely
there was one
that was definitely a penalty, and instead of giving the penalty, which we thought she was going to give, she gave a corner.
Yeah, I think that might have been the second one, which was Robbo was on the far side of the goal and got pulled over. Like the cross came in and she obviously couldn't go for it because she was on the floor.
But everybody was completely baffled at that as to why have you given a corner? It was mad.
Yeah, there are a couple of decisions recently that haven't been reflected.
The lino right in front of us was not.
Go on.
Okay, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but the joy of matches on YouTube is that you can slow them down. And I watched that incident in 0.25 speed, and Dree puts her arm out to push the defender. The defender then kind of says, no way. And because Dree's arm was out, Dree fell over and kicked the ball out of play. It was a corner. I was like, no, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to motion and prove it's a corner. And then I did it. Penalty, and then did it. I was like, okay, no, it's a corner. How the lino and the ref managed to play that in slow motion themselves, I don't know, because that is the only way you can see that it was actually a corner. But it was, unfortunately, a corner.
There was also like an offside decision that they gave down that end, which was just baffling. Like Kenza and Dree had linked up coming into the box.
Yeah, I remember that. That was insane.
They passed it back, it's just ridiculous.
It was insane. That was absolutely insane, because that was right in front of us, and they'd been messing about with that ball for ages, and then she suddenly just called out offside, and it was like, what?
Even both the players were just like, pardon?
Yeah.
So, okay, for those who don't quite know which bit you're talking about, what actually happened? Yeah, it was. Yeah, right. So, Emily, talk us through it. What are you talking about?
So, they were one give and go sort of up the right hand side. I think Dree had the ball, ran in front of the defenders, passed the ball back to Kenza, and then runs back the other side of the defender into free space. Kenza passes the ball back to her, and then the liner gives it offside. But at the point the ball was released, nobody was offside.
I understand now. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah.
Who needs commentators?
And we will just say, because it was a league game, of course, there was no commentary or scores or timer or anything. So trying to watch it back on YouTube, you can't even go, oh, was that at the 20 whatever minute?
Timestamps.
No, you just got actually time it, from when the actual blow the whistle, have a timer next to you to do it. So yeah, it was very, very bizarre. Now, Emma, for this next bit, I did think of you, because commentary corner a couple of weeks ago, we had Dree needs to, what was it? Sit the ball down? No?
But yeah,
get the ball to sit down. Yeah. Well, I think Sabs has been taking some advice from Dree, because did we all see the moment where Sabs went to put the ball down and then like patted it nicely on the head? Just say like, good ball.
Done both. Hey.
Stay on the spot. There we go.
It was very windy.
But again, just watching the stream without the commentator or anything, and just Sabs just really nicely walked over, placed it, and just there we go.
Well,
So yeah, so that was a really nice little moment there from a few weeks ago. Now we have talked about Sumanen's rocket of a goal, of course, from 40 yards out, and absolutely nothing Sabs could have done at all. It was annoyingly good, wasn't it, Gary?
Yes, it really was annoyingly good.
If only, I hope kind of the team's gone, oh, I quite like the look of that. Let's just get one of them at some point. That would be good.
That and the goal that Chelsea scored against us as well. I'm just thinking like it's like that's our kryptonite. Just shoot at her from long range seems to be their answer, because up close they can't get anything past Sabs.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. If she's exposed like that, it's going to happen. But the power on that strike as well, there was nothing. There was nothing to save it. Now I don't know how it felt actually being there compared to watching it, but it felt like in that second half we started with some good intensity. As soon as that goal went in, then it was just Spurs for then a good chunk of that with like a renewed energy. Would anyone disagree with that? What do you think?
I felt at the time, it felt like we played better in the first half than the second on the day.
Yeah.
I think we did have, watching it back, we had the ball way more than it felt like in the second half. Like on the day, it didn't feel like we had it much at all for me. But I think Spurs came out and pressed us higher in the second half as well, which obviously led to a little bit more scruffy play from us than we'd had in the first half.
Yeah, wasn't the prettiest, was it? Haley Rasso Razzo, if you're going to go by the commentator, of course. Sorry, Emma, I don't know if I was stealing that from you for later. But yeah, how she didn't score, I do not know. Because like you said, with that higher press, she was just...
There were a couple of times where Sabs nearly got caught out. I think one of them was right after they'd already scored, and she did a little bit of tricky footwork, Katakoi-esque, and nearly got caught out.
It's like, is that a good thing? But yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know how she didn't. I'm glad she didn't, of course. Really glad she didn't, but I don't know how she didn't. But again, Sab's been the saviour. I've even put that. How she didn't score, I do not know.
Just on that, the goal that they scored, she had so much space because I think the ball had gone out for a throw-in and we just hadn't switched on. I don't know if we thought it should have been our throw-in or whatever, but we just hadn't switched on. And I think because it was so far out, nobody expected her to shoot, but she just had way too much time and space. Yeah,
because on one hand, why would you expect someone to shoot from there? But yeah, it's then having that almost seventh sense of right, okay, they're gonna try and shoot from that moment. I just love that Becky's trying to watch on the underground. And she's is it working? Wait, there we go. Currently on the underground, so apologies if my comments are 22.3 hours late. No, you're good, Becky. It's very specific. 22 and a third. I love it. But yeah, talking about the League Cup though, Becky did also say who are not to be picked up even by Villa TV. Yeah. Now I know some games might be restricted with copyright and things like that, but just briefly, like Sunderland streamed it. Just again, no commentary, no nothing, but it was live. So would we prefer clubs actually taking it upon themselves to make sure these matches are live, or because it was a long time before they were then uploaded, weren't they? Nick, what do you reckon?
I'd have taken anything because I don't know where everyone else was getting their information from, but I was on Spurs website getting play-by-play because Villa weren't doing it. Not even commentary, like just wasn't there. I think it was what Sky Sports or was the option, or Emily who was.
Dear though.
I'm sure I watched the
Because I
Sheffield
remember-
game. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
watching
subscribing to Villa
games.
TV for the league games, the League
Yeah.
Cup game. Sorry, yeah. So again, I wonder why it just wasn't a thing. Because all it takes is someone with a tripod logged into their streaming software, just put it at the back of the stand. Done. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has
Maybe
to be.
they're trying to get more people to actually go to the games rather than watching it on TV.
Maybe, but away to Spurs. If it was a home game, I could maybe understand that a bit more because people couldn't kind of take it or leave it if it's your local team. But if it's an away game, usually the people who travel away will go, won't they? They'll prefer to travel. But yeah, just a bit bizarre. So Tracy, are you quite happy that there weren't that many live streams?
No, I'm just saying that possibly that might be
That
their
might be the reason.
thinking. Might be their thinking. Doesn't bother me either way, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just thinking it might be their thinking.
Yeah, no. Has anyone else got any thoughts about whether it should at least something, or at least a dedicated feed?
I also don't.
That there was a match or filler would have been.
Yeah, I also, because we were the only one of the games on Saturday, weren't we? All the others were on Sunday, so it's not like they had one slot per day on YouTube and had already filled it.
Yeah, there was literally no other games on Saturday. Yeah. Very odd. Yeah, I didn't miss the camera angle coming out of, I think it was a drain. Then you had someone's coat flapping over it. That was fun as well. That was on, I think that wasn't the Sunderland game. It was one of the Championship games. There was someone's coat flapping over the lens. That was fun. But yeah, so it just, the difference in league streaming compared to cup streaming, like we did used to whinge when it was a best goal, but at least it was something. Now, so that takes us to that
I
one.
think,
I
think that's one of the things that the NWSL, the American League, has got right, is that you can watch all of their games on like an app, I think, if you're in the States, and then it's on various platforms for international viewers. But they're all there, and they're all like the same quality production.
Yeah, it just shows you it can be done as well. Like it's not like you have to reinvent the wheel. Like just kind of see what the Americans do and see if we can tweak it and copy it. Yeah, absolutely. Right, now we've talked about the streaming. We need to talk about the subs, don't we? We need to talk about the substitutions. Nick's already laughing. She knows what's coming. Because we had some cracking ones. So let's get them up.
Oh, just on the starting lineup before we go into subs, I've written, I can't really decipher it. I think the gist of what I've written is that I think like we said about peppering their keeper with shots because it was a debut, and we did get into positions quite a lot of time where we could have put crosses in, and like we said, they just decided to cut back inside instead. And I don't know if some of that was, I think the way we were obviously set up, Ebony Salmon is more of a sort of receive the ball, turn and shoot kind of striker. Whereas I think if Rach had been on the pitch, we could have put more balls in from wide areas that she could try and head in or things like that. I think it was a little bit confusing to me the way, like I don't know what I'm trying to say. The way we were playing obviously was suited to Ebony because she was the one that was on the pitch, but I think the other way around might have been better going when you see who their keeper is. Obviously, they don't know that beforehand. Just an observation from the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, you'd think hopefully, that's how they've set up. Let's try and tweak it. Let's try and change it. Now, did we get an actual understanding of what the formation was? Because Spurs had a different one to BBC, who had a different one to Sky, who had no idea. So what BBC have got now, they have Darlene Salmon up top, then Dree, Missy Bo, Miri, and Katie Robinson. And then, of course, our back four. So was it more of a 4-4-2 or?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I think
because
Kenza was playing slightly deeper than Ebony. That's what it felt like.
You would do if you were a midfielder that was put in the forward position.
I also
You would really fall deeper.
I also noted that every time that Missy's sort of started in the league, she's been playing, like when she's played next to Jordan, she's played at the left of that base of midfield. She was playing on the right this time, and Miri was on the left. So I don't know if that.
Well, she's a centre midfielder, isn't she? So she kind of can't be when it's a 4.
She's moving everyone else out of the way. Guys, this is my space. I'm in the centre. This is mine. Everyone else move.
Somewhere around the centre, be it left or right, I guess.
That's true. Robert was like, yeah, I'll put you somewhere in the middle, and we'll hope for the best. Now, looking at these subs then, so the ones that made sense. So Prowler came on for Maz in the 74th minute. Fine. I just heard a mumbling there from Nick, so I'm not on the same screen. I'm looking at a different one.
The mumbling was, oh no, 2 of them. 2 of them made sense.
2 of them, yeah. Oh wait, maybe 3. Kate Robinson came off for Chastity.
Chastity is a right winger.
I'm just saying it was a wing.
That does not make sense.
We can't get into the detail of left and right. What are you talking about?
She was purchased as a right winger or wing back.
She was purchased.
And she's playing an attacking left wing in that match.
How? I'm so confused.
What's happening? I got distracted by my cat. I don't know what's happening.
Sophie, how long have you been sitting there behind the screen? Because I've just had a message going, cat. Sorry? Sophie, how long have you been there?
Not too long.
You didn't think to message any of us.
Nope.
I mean, you could have been extra humor. Come on. Yeah. Hi, Sophie. Nice to see you.
Well, at first I was like, well, I feel like Freya will wait for like a logical point to like add me in.
Make your entrance. Well, we were talking about the wing and you were waiting in the wing, so that's the appropriate time.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. So the way the setup works, right? It's not like anywhere else where you can see. I can literally see me talking and then the last person to speak before me, and it'll just come up with a little number. So, and then I've got to click on it and then it expands. You see, I've got the chat. So yeah, please, anyone else who's ever waiting, don't assume I've seen you. Unless there's only about 2 of us on. Okay. So Sophie, I do apologize.
Okay.
But yeah, so talking about subs, Sophie, for this one, we were saying
I've not got that far.
Okay, well, just you can join in a bit. But yeah, so we said Pacheco and Thomas, that made sense. Kate Robinson and Chastity Grant, kind of, they were both wingers, but not the right side. Dree and Kirsty, again, both wingers. So they were all 74th minute. Okay. Then we got to the 84th, 85th minute. Ebony came off for Rach. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then Dan Turner came off for Gabby Nunes. And you just think, I know we can kind of play fast and loose with a formation sometimes, but that's a genuine what? So what do you think was the thinking there? Nick, I will come to you because I know you're very passionate about this one.
I would have understood the thinking if he hadn't have pushed Thomas and Moritz further up. Like, I can kind of argue, right, we're 1-0 down, bring another striker on.
Yeah.
If we kept the defenders in a defending position, not just leaving Anna Patton to defend against 11 people by herself.
I mean, she's good.
I mean, she's been fabulous lately, but she ain't that good. I don't think anyone should be in a position where they're defending alone.
No. And Sabs just working the magic on the back line. Yeah.
We're very lucky that it stayed 1-0 with that decision. I think I said last week, I can't remember who I said was the most moronic substitution that I've ever heard of in my life. This is my new that.
This could be the benchmark.
That is the new most moronic substitution I've seen.
I think, like at the in the stadium when the subs came up, I think the part that confused me the most, and the same actually with Sabs going up for the last two corners. Like, I get that you're 1-0 down, and it's sort of, I don't know. There was too much time left for me when she went up for those corners. But like, if we'd have managed to get one back, and it had been a draw, it would have gone to penalties, and we still could have got 2 points from that thing. It's not like it's not an all or nothing game. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I get going top heavy and going for broke, but I don't really understand that thinking for that game, because all we needed to do was get one back, and
thing is,
rather than risk so much. Like, if Spurs had got another goal, that would have been it.
Yeah, there wasn't enough time to then kind of get back in the game.
The possibility of getting a draw and then the penalties would have been gone completely.
Yeah,
I will say, like, taking the defender off for a striker in the 85th minute, he did that in the Chelsea game as well. And at the time, we were all like, that's amazing, that's incredible. Like, he's rolled the dice, we're 1-0 down, might as well. Like, what's the difference here? Like,
he hadn't pushed Thomas. He hadn't pushed.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, yeah, like,
we were already losing. Like, you kind of have to go forward to score that equaliser. Like,
I think you can. I think if you're in an opening game against Chelsea, you can make that decision because we're not going to get 3 points, so we may as well give it a whack. But when it's top of the group and then the best runners up, you don't make calls like that, because the goal difference in us being second.
Is the best runners up going through this season with there being three coming? Is it still top of? Who's actually going through? We've got 5 groups this season.
Because it was Europe and then best 2, wasn't it? Best 2.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So potentially with
there'll be one. Yeah,
points goal difference, we could be best 2, but.
But there'll be one less slot already, won't there? If there's 5 groups.
Hey, I'm googling. Don't worry, Sophie. That's why we brought you in for the standing up for what you believe in. So yeah, hey Sophie, since you were there for 30 minutes, anything else you wanted to bring up while I'm searching for these rules?
No.
No. Oh,
no.
Right, okay.
Oh yeah, actually, there was a few points actually. The not shooting from outside the box and trying to walk it in we did that last season as well, all the time. Like, where players should have taken shots.
Yeah,
that's something that seems to have not changed from season to season.
It's just so bizarre to me why we I don't know why. Is it because? No, it's going to sound really bad if I say that. Is it because we think we're like a sort of Barcelona? Do you know what I mean? Where you can just walk it in. I mean, it doesn't work for them quite often as well. But yeah, I don't know what I mean.
I have no idea what you mean. I'm out there. You said that, and I was just like, no clue what you just meant at all.
Yeah, pretend we know nothing, Emily. Just go for it.
Okay, it's going to sound really bad, and I love our team, but is it because not the players or anyone in particular, but is it because we think we're sort of better than we are? Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like, we think we're too good to just try long balls over and trying playing sort of Route 1 football rather than pretty football.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an argument for it. Because if it's, a new style, a new way that he wants to do it, and so, we want results, or kind of things like that. We've already seen this season, haven't we? Sonia Bonpastor just kind of saying, if it results to long balls over the top to get the win, then you do it. Like, you forget the pretty football and you just, you kind of go with it. So yeah, strange.
But even last year when we were trying to do the same thing, I don't know.
Last year was half successful because, like, I think I shared in the group a few weeks ago about the where we were most successful style of play with Villa and what Rob's style of play is and how it contrasts, we were most successful in wing play. So
I was going to say, yeah.
We were most successful when we took the ball up the wing, courtesy of generally Hansen or Leon. So that kind of worked for walking it into the net in those instances when it came up the side and then into the box and then walked in. It's not working this season because we're not using wing play. We're holding possession in kind of the middle of the pitch, which is very much Robert's style of play. And then I don't think we then
Can't do anything with it.
Yeah, from there, like, what do we do? Can we take it out to the wing to then go back to wing play, or do we try and pass it? It's just
Pass it into the box.
messy. Yeah.
Just going back to the substitutions, just on a sort of personal opinion, I'd like to see, rather than changing both wingers at the same time, only change one.
So
I don't, because no, but just every time we change both at the same time, innit?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. It kind of messes up. Like, you're taking two transitions away to then set up two completely new ones. Like,
which takes time.
Maybe, yeah.
I think there was too much change in the starting 11.
Yeah, because we said it was 8, didn't we? 8 changes to that. Can confirm, Sophie is correct. Only the outright winner of the group goes through to the quarterfinals.
My bad.
So yeah, so because we have got groups A to E,
tricky.
it's literally only the winner. So yeah, so then it's worth.
In which case, I take everything.
Understand that substitution a bit more then, to go for it. But yeah, ultimately could have also been a lot to lose, couldn't it? So yeah, outright winners then that go through. Currently, then, you'd be pleased to know we are 3 points behind Spurs, and we are second place in our group. So currently, after 2 games, it looks like Man United are finally getting through. Man
United have got to have something going for them this season because it's certainly not the football they're playing.
No.
They do have a very good goalkeeper.
She's excellent.
Oh, Sophie, I meant to send it to you. Did you see her video about fish?
No, but she does some really cool stuff on the side. She's into some really cool
I'll send it.
sciencey stuff that I am really here for.
And so we all know, Sophie, any animals, bats, forestry, fruits, veg, anything, send it Sophie's way.
Anything environment and sciencey.
Can I just ask why bats were in a different category to animals?
Because specifically there's a love of bats.
Right.
Yeah. Like seminar worthy. Sophie, please back me up here. That I'm just
I did attend a seminar on bats. I will also say I attended a seminar on small mammals. So
well,
on how to identify small mammals in the field. So
in a literal field. Or
yeah,
in the field.
Yeah, as in when doing field work and surveying for small mammals.
This could be a different podcast, but hey,
I would be happy to sit through one of these seminars. Where
one of them was the Small Mammal Association, and the other one's the Arboriculturist Association.
I mean, I was happy last week when people were sending pictures of their cats. I'm like,
just to plug other organisations, and nothing to do with football. But if anyone's interested in the environment, trees.
Well, Sophie didn't tell you, she also gets a referral for everyone that she gets in. She's like, I'll take that £5. Yes, thank you very much. £5 off the next course.
Most of them are free.
Well, exactly. £5 off. It's a bargain. In fact, they're paying you. No, so yes, I was trying to be all serious and look at groups, wasn't I? Before we got talking about small mammals, right? So, Group A, we said United look like they're going to go through, with Liverpool 3 points behind them. In Group B, Durham look like they're going to be going through to the next stage, but Blackburn and Sunderland are close on their heels. West Ham look like they're going through in Group C. Southampton and London City both on 3 points though, so we'll see what happens there. Group D, Brighton are on 4 points. Leicester and Birmingham are both on 3. So again, all to play for in Group D. And of course, Group E, which we are in, Spurs 6, Villa 3, Crystal Palace 3. But yeah, Poole Charlton haven't got a chance of qualifying.
These
unfortunately.
League Cup games are really showing the gap still between the WSL and the Championship.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like you've got some teams who can cope, like your Durhams and your Birminghams. They're doing all right. But as we saw with the Liverpool Newcastle game, just completely different leagues.
We did have a very easy run last year because I think we had all Championship teams in our group, and
we did. Yeah.
this year we don't.
Yeah, nice for the confidence, but not a good reflection on the actual where we were in terms of quality.
What if we can win our final game against Charlton? What do we need? The Spurs, Crystal Palace. Because even if Crystal Palace win, they'll be on 6, won't they?
So if Spurs win, well, okay. So let's best
One
outcome
goal between us.
So best case scenario, Palace win. Okay. By 1. Then we need to win by 3 to be happy. We could just do it. We've currently got a goal difference of 1.
1, yeah.
Palace have got a 0 goal difference, so yeah, we need to win by 2 at the bare minimum. But that's with Spurs losing. The Spurs win, it's game over. Unfortunately, but we are against Charlton, so it's doable if we put the right team out. And again, we've got that right mentality. But pre-season, we know Charlton aren't exactly easy, are they? So has anyone got any thoughts about that upcoming match? Do we have a chance at a comeback?
We have a chance, but Charlton are definitely no pushovers, as you said, pre-season.
Yes.
They were probably the toughest game for us pre-season. But yeah, well, we do have the team, we do have the depth, we could beat them. To be fair, Spurs could be upset as well.
That's true. Crystal Palace, I can see them
Palace
being
But Palace have certainly got the squad there too, so I don't think we're out yet.
No.
But we are also dependent on Palace, which you don't really want to put yourself in that position.
No, yeah, and it's kind of the worst thing being in a position waiting for other games to kind of pan out to see what's going to go on. Emma, how do you feel? Do you think we've got any chance left? Or how do you think we're going to do against Charlton?
I'm going to be honest.
That sums it up.
Yeah. Everyone, but I mean, I don't think we'll lose against Charlton, but I think our hopes of a cup run may be over. Because I don't think... One, I'm not sure if we'd beat Charlton by the amount of goals that we need to, which was, I think we said.
Well, 1 Palace.
But, like, I don't know. Crystal Palace definitely have it in them to win. Then that again, it falls on us relying on other teams, which is exactly what we did last season. And it's just same old. Like, give us a break. We don't want to sit here holding our breath, basically. But I think our chances of a cup run may be over.
And it's so
We can
sad.
hope for a nice FA Cup draw.
Yeah.
Hey, we've still got another cup.
We can't do worse than last year on that front.
Yeah,
Unless we get drawn like another WSL side in the first round we come in in. Like, let's...
Yeah.
But at least a few of the Championship teams, I think, are facing each other in the next round, so they'll knock each other out.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the third round draw has just been made, hasn't it? So we'll probably see, well, with the new year, won't we? What?
Assuming that will be our first game back again, will it? I think that's a free weekend, isn't it?
I believe so. We can. We'll ask Le Google. Going to take place on Sunday, the 14th of January. Yes.
That's my birthday.
Yay.
I don't know why I need to
Thanks for
announce that.
home draw.
Happy fourth round FA Cup day.
That'll be a win.
Now,
I don't even know who we're playing, but we're winning that one.
winning clubs collecting £54,000, and the losing teams get £15,000. So there you go.
What did you just on Sunday, the 14th of January?
I did, but then I realised.
The 14th of January, Tuesday. So it's not going to be on my birthday.
My birthday's a Saturday.
No, my birthday. 14th
I'm very confused by dates
12th
right
of
now.
January. Ha, 12th.
It's not on my birthday.
It's the closest Sunday to your birthday. It's fine.
I was confused because I'm sure we're playing Everton on the 18th, and I'm sure that's a
Yeah, we are.
weekend day.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a 4-day work week,
I know
don't
my
you know?
Okay, you can all take it up with Google, because even though I put in the dates of the 24-25 competition, it came up with last year's, right? But no, so I can confirm to everyone Sunday, the 12th of January, 2025. There we go, 25 on the end of it. Fourth round. Yeah, good. So yeah, whoever we get drawn against, you've got to win for Nick, or she'll come and beat you up. And that's just the fact.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I was going to say, you look shocked, as if like that hadn't crossed your mind, but
We'll be in the middle of the January transfer window then as well, and I love a good transfer window.
we love a transfer window. I was looking through all the teams to see who else we can poach from people's benches. Haley Ladd is looking the most promising at this point. I'd poach her for the team. I think it needs to be done. Just
I
need
feel
it.
like we need a young centre back in, because currently 2 of our 4 centre backs are injured. So
I think that was
Oh, Emily, was I sending them to you?
yeah.
People was going
I
through
was going
it.
to say, so you posted out earlier, but was stuff people you wanted. Was there anything people wanted us to talk about? And I think someone.
Yes, I've got 2. I've made a note. Thank you very much, though, for reminding me. No, I was sending them through to Emily. I was looking on football.
We made a shopping list, didn't we?
We did. We made a shopping list. It was really nice. So I was looking at all of the players who are a defender
I don't know where it's gone.
or a centre back, anyone really in that back line, who weren't getting enough minutes at their club. So let's have a
I
look.
do agree with Sophie. We think we do need another centre back.
We do. We really, really do.
I think we could do with a young one though, like 20, not an 18, 19, but like 21, 22, just because Parker and Patsy are quite similar in age.
Mm.
And then Dan Turner and Corsi are both in the 30s.
I think it's like, obviously we want Patsy and Parker to be like our partnership moving forward, but with Corsi currently out and Lucy Parker out for an unknown amount of time, we don't know if that's how long that's going to be at the moment. I think we do need to, like, we're dangerously thin on that front.
Yeah. So I've just found it. Maria Mendez from Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, that was
How much playing time at the minute? Sylvia Loris as well. Alison Swaby. I think she'd be quite good. And who else?
Oh, you mentioned Amy James Turner.
Yeah, James Turner as well. Get her in.
Hasn't she just signed for one of the NWSL clubs? Or is it the other A James Turner? There's 2 of them and one's in the NWSL, and I can never remember which way around they are.
Well, they did get married, so is it her wife?
Yes. Yeah, the wife. It was easier when they had
the same surname, guys. Different people.
I do now understand why, whilst they were both at Spurs, they kept their own surnames, because I still can't remember which one's which.
That's James Turner, passing to James Turner, back to James Turner. Yeah, so Angarad went out to the NWSL.
Right.
Amy is still in
With
Spurs.
the Spurs.
Okay, that is a good shout. Maybe she'll also go out there rather than.
Yeah. That's probably going to happen, isn't it? Around the come to
But
Villa.
don't they own a coffee shop?
Sorry?
Don't they own a coffee shop in England? The James Turners.
That rings a bell. Something about a coffee shop.
Why do all the lesbian couples own coffee shops? Is that
The
like?
same.
Is that,
Do you not have one?
right. Okay. No, well, I'm not a couple. Or a footballer, unfortunately.
That shouldn't stop you from living out your caffeine dreams. You should be able to do it.
It does seem a very very
It's a very
bit,
niche
but it's
perspective,
kind of
isn't it? No, it is. No, you're right. Oh, Georgie, I don't know if Georgie's watching. Georgie, Foudies, quick, it's 9 o'clock. Sorry, they're launching their mystery boxes. Georgie.
I will say that
Okay,
mystery
yeah.
boxes are very good. I got one last year for Chrissy for Christmas.
This is when you
Well,
find
who's
out she's
done
not
it?
watching.
I was going to say, I can see the numbers
No,
going
yeah.
up and down.
She's been lying to you all this time. Oh, it's a really good one.
So I like the bit where you talked about the football.
Come on, Georgie, comment if you can hear us.
She'll see my message as well.
I
No.
feel like this conversation, this whole podcast was way more on track before I got let in.
That is really true, actually. Yeah, Sophie, can we just boot you off again? Then maybe we'll get back on track. Now, thank you to everyone who is watching, by the way. We do appreciate you and for getting involved in the chat. We also have some fans online. Thank you very much. Now, I did ask earlier if there was anything in particular people wanted us to talk about tonight, and we've got some responses, which we always love. So, the first one, comes from, wrong tense, AVWFC Lionesses, who has said, and this is something that we've talked about a lot, so hopefully it can be a quick, we'll put it to bed. Why does anyone not believe RDP is doing an arguably better job than Carla? After 8 WSL matches in the 23-24 season, with, I don't use those acronyms, hang on, points, there we go, played 8, four and against, right, wow, okay. I haven't even been drinking, I promise. Right, played 8, 10 goals for, 18 against, 6 points. Results after 8 WSL matches this season with RDP, 9 for, 13 against, and still got 6 points. Scored 1 less goal, conceded 5 fewer, same points, so the defending is much clearer and stronger. So, just to kind of sum it up, has anyone got a quick summary of what we think? Because I know we've talked about it at length, but...
Can I just say that I didn't send that? Just in case anybody was thinking that it was me.
Is this your burner account?
No.
Is that what this is? Yeah, go on then, Tracy, because I know we've talked about it a lot. Can you kind of sum it up for us?
Sorry, what do you mean? Listen, you know that I'm an RDP fan, yeah. And I just feel that the stats prove it. Those stats that have just been given, there are other stats as well. I know Nick will argue the fact that we've got more depth this season and therefore we should be doing a lot better. I will always come back to the fact that I know this is not an exaggeration, this is the truth. For me, this is my personal opinion, every game last season, whether we'd won or we'd lost, I came away unwowed by our performance, whether we'd lost or we'd won. This season, so far, whether we've lost or we've won, I've come away thinking that was a really good game of football, and I think we did well.
I'm going to agree with Tracy.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
No, that's good. Thank you.
I'm going to agree with Tracy. I actually think that the football is a lot better in some respects. There's very specific games I can think about last season where it felt like we started at the halfway line and got closer and closer and closer to our own box until we conceded and then conceded. I think the game against Arsenal at the Emirates, where we went 1-0 up and then just sort of sat into our own box. And then the 12 minutes of extra time, they scored twice. And I could feel it coming. You could feel that you were like, oh, we're just getting further and further back and we're just we're practically all 11 of us, like in the 18-yard box. You could have put 12 on and they'd have still probably scored because, like, you know.
I just feel that I'm coming away from matches this season I mean, how many games in are we now? 9?
10.
9, 10 games?
8.
I don't know.
And I can't.
It is,
I honestly, and this is not. I'm not being biased or anything. Just because I like the bloke, I don't even know the bloke, but I've just got a feeling. But I can honestly say that I've come away from every game and I've enjoyed the game, whether we've lost or we've won. And I've thought, you know what, we put in a decent performance. Then I really enjoyed the football that we've been playing. Last season, I didn't feel that. I just didn't, I just didn't feel it at all.
Yeah. No.
And
Yeah,
Nick's
'cause we-
sitting there thinking,
Nick's like,
Right,
how
as
do
far
I
as
put
players are concerned, like the performance of a player this season to last season, they are playing better this season. They are, but is that because they're having to fight their little bums off because of the managerial decisions that are made that make us go down? I think so. I think last season, with all the injuries and the no depth and having academy players as substitutes and stuff, Carla Ward essentially had the job of hitting a square peg into a round hole and did a damn good job of trying. This year, we've got the tools, and Robert DePau is trying to hit a screw in with a hammer.
can you just rewind? You know what you said first of all about what did you say first of all then?
The player last year, like individual players, they are playing better individually this season because they're having to.
I'm a bit confused.
Because we've got to chase our tails because managerial decisions, formation decisions are making us concede before we do anything. So then we're having to
So
play
we're always
our little
chasing the
bums off.
game, and that's their performance
We're
goes
chasing
up,
the game. So we have to play better. Like we don't have a choice.
rather than playing better from the outset.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you, Emily, for explaining
Yeah,
that
but
point.
it's not. I don't understand that because what I'm actually talking about is the football itself, the accuracy of passes, the opportunities that are being made. I'm not necessarily. I know what you're saying, that we all know that it's the number of goals that are scored that determine the outcome of the game. Yeah, but what I'm talking about is I just think it's going to click, right? Because the football, in my opinion, has been so much better. It's like there's a piece missing out of the jigsaw, yeah, and it's going to happen, I think personally. But yeah, I just think that the football itself has been better. The passing, the opportunities that are being made, the way that last season they didn't gel at all. I don't feel. I don't think, we were saying, oh, it's going to happen next game. It's going to happen next game. They're going to gel. I actually feel that the team have gelled so far this year. I know there's been a lot of different players that are playing, but I just feel even with the different combinations of players, there is a better gel than there was in any lineup that there was last year. Personally, that's how I feel. I'm just enjoying the football a lot more.
Yeah, Rebecca's saying that in the chat as well. We're definitely playing a lot better. We just need that end product of goals, and then it's all going to get better. It will all come. Yeah, Gary, what were you going to say?
There's certain players that have been playing much better. Having Parker back, she's been fantastic this season, and then Patsy and beside her, those two have been rock solid. It's a shame that Parker's out injured, but Dan Turner, whenever she came in at left back and is now switched to centre back, again, she's been doing the job. Defensively, we have been much better, but attacking, sometimes it is like we're trying to walk it into the net. It's a wee bit robotic. Last season, whenever Kirsty and Dree kept switching wings and tormenting the fullbacks that didn't know who they were going for, we were creating goals. And this is what we need. This is why everybody's saying Kirsty has to play, Dree has to play. They're two of our biggest threats. And usually there's only one of them on the pitch. It's a shame bringing Rate back in the midfield. We were talking about where Carla had the put sort of, scores in the round pegs last season. That's because she didn't have the squad. We now have the squad. We don't need to be playing Rates in midfield. We don't need to be playing Daly up front. We didn't need to bring Dan Turner on at left back, because Dan Turner was a centre back. Robert's still putting them in the wrong positions. Now, we've been getting some results, but this is where all the fans are getting the frustrations because they're seeing players being played out of position. And then they're seeing players like Maz, who's always done a job for us, not getting a chance to play. And she's one of the ones whose contract's up at the end of the season. She could probably end up leaving us in January. And then do we then go back to having bare bones squad? Are Villa going to be willing to invest again? Because Carla had that really good season that didn't back it up. Left us with bare bones squads. Carla done the best that she could. Now they've backed Robert. But if Robert's going to be playing players in their own positions, potentially leaving people unhappy, not giving people minutes, will our squad be stripped again and we're back to square one? We need to be looking at the bigger picture, not game by game, not, we're keeping the ball. Man City had 70% of the possession against us, and we were the better team. You can have all the possession in the world. Points win prizes.
Yeah,
we need to be getting the ball in the net. Long and short of it, we need to be scoring goals.
But do you not think that that's going to happen?
No.
As soon as they start to understand what it is that he's trying to do with the team, and
what is he trying to do?
Well,
I really
make
don't.
them better than they were last.
Other than making people play positions that they've never played in their entire life, like they've trained for the position that they play since they were academy players, and now he's suddenly putting them somewhere else on the pitch and expecting them to succeed.
But okay,
there's no logic.
Okay, so apart from not putting the ball in the back of the net, you've agreed that they are playing better than they were last season.
Individually, most individual players, yes. Defense, 100%.
Defense, 100%.
Defense is fine. Defense is fine. I have no issue with defenders. If we played the right players in the right positions, we would be phenomenal. Because we've got the talent, we've got the squad rotation, all of the players have improved, but they can't play to their strongest abilities in the wrong position.
They should just switch when they get on the field. Like, yeah, well, I'll be a 10. Yeah, I'll be a centre back. Yeah, right.
That is 100. That's the only issue is that he won't. It's like he doesn't know who the players are.
I think the sticking point for me is like, I agree with what you were saying, Tracy, about we're playing nice football, and it's you come away from a match thinking, I enjoyed watching that because we played nice passes. We looked good going forward, etc. But it's like, how long do you give it for it to click? Because we're nearly halfway through the season, and if it gets to a point where we're start of February and we still only have 9 points, with how well the rest of the league is doing, how long do you give it before you say that's not good enough? We're at risk of going down here.
I think the thing is, whenever Freya mentioned earlier on, where Sonia said sometimes you just have to play ugly.
Mm.
That's my
Alex Greenwood said that as well about City.
Yeah, and we've got the players to do it. We've got Lucy Staniforth, she'll chip it over the top. We've got Mailing who will chip it over the top. We've got two very strong wingers that will just run down the sides. We've got Darley who will run it through the middle.
That's my main issue. In my opinion, there's a reluctance to adapt or be flexible in what he's asking of what. It's like, it's got to be this way. We've got to play this way, and we'll just wait until that works, rather than trying to adapt in the meantime and sort of rescue stuff from games, even in the last 10 minutes when it's not working. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think.
I can't get my head around the Leon Grant debate.
Me neither.
I was looking at I looked at the stats of how they're playing, like against the percentages of other people that play the same position of them. Bear with me, it's fairly shocking. So shot attempts, Chastity Grant is in the bottom 2% in all of the players in the same position across the league, and she is still getting starts. She is in the top 57% for chances created, that means half of the midfielders are better than her. Whereas Adriana Leon is, bear with me, Dree is 76%. She's in the top 76% of, so she's better than 76% of wingers for shot attempts, and better than 63% for chances created. And obviously that's the minutes she's played. So obviously is why it's quite so high. But 76% and 2%.
Massive
and we're playing just
because again we didn't know if that was a underlying health issue. Because apparently there was a niggle with Drew, which is why she couldn't play. But yeah, we know when Drew's 100% fit, she's starting, or she needs to be starting. Because again, we said, we've got cracking players in our squad who aren't getting any younger. So if they're not getting the playing time, they will be looking elsewhere. And again, I know we've said before about contracts ending, and we're going to have a really good discussion when we get to to nearer the time about who stays, who goes. Because Emily, we were talking as well, weren't we? And we were saying, look, at the end of the day, is everything we've built towards so far, is it worth risking for if this pays off or not? Is this worth it? Because Kens are not starting. And I know Tracy said earlier there's only so many players on a pitch, and yeah, you're right. But when Kenza comes on, you feel the difference, don't you? And the fact that she's on, and when she is on, she's not as a 10, and you just think, but you know what she can do in that position. So that's a choice. That is a choice being made. I just like more insight into what is driving it. Because then maybe we would understand. But yeah, from the outside, it's hard to kind of see through.
I think I'm wondering if conversation of players playing in their position, I think for the older players, their positions are much more fixed on the pitch, as in they've spent much longer in that position. But certainly younger players, Millie Bright started as a striker, and now she's one of the best centre-backs. Same with Leah Williamson, Players do move into better positions as they get. Millie Bright, but Hampton moved to goalkeeper much, much younger. Millie Bright was playing senior football as a striker in a midfield. That's
why you send her up front when you want fans.
Yeah, that's what I say. She's effective as a defender because she can be sent up front.
Yeah.
But it's not the young players we're moving though. Grant's quite young. So I could see an argument for taking a right wing back or a right winger and putting her in the left, because it's not that different. But it's the fact that she's naturally a wing back or a defensive winger, and she's been played in an attacking role, that is not right when there's a better attacking winger. And I'm actually starting to wonder if he just doesn't know the difference between Darley and Daly.
In training,
play Daly in a 10 and Darley in a 9, I think he just maybe he's dyslexic.
Should just swap shirts.
You know, in training,
Yeah, Tracy.
do you think possibly they might rotate and try people out in different positions, and if they do well in training in the position that they're not supposed to be in, because that's what they originally trained to be, and they're doing well in training in a different position and it's working in training, and so do you think possibly that might be what's happening, that he's putting them into these positions because they've shown in training that it works and they're actually happy with doubling up into a different position? And I mean, at the moment, I promise you I'm not related to RDP at all, okay? But at the moment there just seems to be a lot of, oh, why is he doing this and why is he doing that, is he stupid and blah 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 blah, can't he see? And well, you know, not just from people on this panel but from everywhere, from lots of different people. And I'm just like, well, do we actually know what's going on in training? Do we actually know what's being said? Do we actually know what the players are actually saying? Do we actually know what they're feeling and how do they feel about is it their idea? Are they saying give me a chance in this position or blah 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 blah? Do we know? We don't, do we really? And so kind of just saying you know, he's an idiot for putting them in this position, we don't really know that is actually what's happening, do we? I'm just, you know, saying.
Although, on the other hand, Becky has put, well, rotation experimentation is for pre-season and again for cup games as well. He should know his squad by now. I think you can try things out. Of course you can. You can mix it up, but if it's not working or if it's not to their you know, best and detriment at this point, because we've talked about it's a short league. You don't have time. So yeah, try it for, as we saw in the Spurs game, try it for a half. Oh, that was a train wreck. Right, okay, let's fix it. So
Also, just pulling it back to the preseason comment, Dree scored 2 goals in preseason.
He played people in the right positions in pre-season. That's what I don't get. Pre-season was good.
Did we though?
And then he thought, oh, that was far too successful. Let's just...
I mean, Sophie, what were we going to say?
I'd like to say, having listened to a lot of the arguments this evening and through previous podcasts, there seems to be a lot happening where people are saying he's trying the same stuff and it's not working, so we want him to change it. But then when he changes it, you're like, okay, but not like that.
Yeah.
It seems to be what's happening. People, so it feels like there's just
the change we want him to make is to play people in their right positions.
Yeah.
He is changing the players, just still putting them in the wrong place.
fair.
Right. I don't care if he starts Maz over Thomas or, you know, they're the set. You know, they're both good. That doesn't upset me. It upsets me when he plays Darley as number 9 and takes a defender off for a strike. That's what confuses me.
Yeah, you just think play your players to your strengths, try things out, fine. But at the end of the day, if it's not working, that's okay. It's not working. Just don't do it again. And we've got, you know, regardless of what's going on in training, it's not converted into wins. Yeah, because again, it's not. We need to test it out against an opponent. If players are requesting to be experimented with, then he needs to grow up and manage, not be dictated to. Go on, Becky. Well done. Right, we're going to move on from there because we could be arguing for forever. So thank you very much for that question. He caused a few arguments there, Lionesses. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you seem to be able to knock that on the head pretty quickly. That wasn't quick.
Yeah. I was like, let's do a quick summary, guys. And then people are like, no, we're not doing a quick summary. We're going to argue.
I feel like we started off at this end and we got to about here in terms of seeing each other's point of view.
We did all like each other when we started this podcast. Right. We do have one more question from Kelly Clare. Thank you very much. And she says, where does Jill Byings fit into the team when she's back and match fit? And where will DePaul look to strengthen the squad in January? we've kind of already mentioned about where we'd like to strengthen, but yeah, that's the thing. When Jill Byings is back, where do we see her fitting in? Has anyone thought about it?
Not really.
I think because we haven't seen her play before she got injured.
Yeah, so it's hard to imagine her, isn't it?
I mean,
She's kind of a mythical concept at this
she's
point.
she's a midfielder, isn't she?
Is she more like
Yes.
attack minded or defensive midfield?
I haven't got. I think she's a defender.
That doesn't really matter.
I'm not sure. I feel like midfielders is where we've got the most players, though. Like we've got very good rotation in like the middle of the pitch. So if she starts over Jordan or Staniforth, then you'll have a very moody me in a podcast.
According to EA Sports FC25, she is a central attacking midfielder.
Attacking.
So potentially a number 10.
We can't have everyone playing as number 10, Gary.
We can play.
Come on, that's Rachel Daly's position.
I
Coming in, taking over these things from Daly.
I have a feeling we have a few players on the squad that Robert Power would rather not have on the squad and aren't his choice for those roles. Because that's what happens with every manager. There's always players that if you inherit a squad, that you're not able to strip and rebuild the entire squad in one season. I reckon we'll see what Robert DePauw wants as a squad if he stays post this season. I think there will be change. I think there will be players that leave us and there will be players that come in because they suit his vision more than who we've currently got.
Which, like you said, you'd expect with a new manager.
As heartbreaking as it is to see some of our favourites move on, it's part of football.
Yeah,
players rarely stay at the same club for a decade. Unless you're
supporting a football team is like liking the Sugar Babes. You can't rely on all of the members today.
Of all the pop groups in all the world, the Sugar Babes.
They've changed every single member.
They did have a lot of lineups.
It is quite funny though when you see like Sugar Babes like announced at Pride and you're like, yeah, but who?
Yeah, which ones? Which four?
Which ones would turn up? Or it was like when you had S Club 3 and you're like, okay, but which three? Which three are going to turn up?
It's had a spirit, that's fine. Is that the right one?
Hannah never turned up. Hannah never came out. It was always Joe, Bradley, and John. And Paul before RI people. But yeah, Joe was always there. Joe, cracking voice, Joe. On a different note, of course, from the football.
Like racist in Big Brother. Did that happen? Was that her?
Who went in Big Brother?
Was it Joe that called Chilpachetti like curry or something in Big Brother?
No, that was Jade. That was Jade Goody.
They're all the same person.
Oh, Becky's added a comment onto Jill Byings of 10 goals in 91 appearances for Jill Byings.
I would say defensive. Or maybe she creates them but doesn't score them. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe more defensive. Could we? Okay, so let's put this another question. Do we need more of a defensive mid rather than another attacking mid, would we say? Nick shaking her head, no. No midfielders.
I think the midfielders we've got are, apart from Missy's slightly weaker than the rest, I would say, but Miri, Stan, Nobbs, we've got a solid.
I
think
they can all defend and attack. I think they're all quite adaptive.
I think when we have Nobbs and Missy together, they're not a good pairing together. I don't like those, and I think I'd rather have. I think Nobbs with. If we were going to put the younger ones in, probably if we didn't have Nobbs and Staniforth together, personally, I think like you need either Nobbs or Staniforth with either Missy or Miri. Like,
yeah.
I think
I agree.
We need like a player, a bit like Lucy Parker and Rachel Coursey, both a centre back, but also play like defensive midfield. That's sort of a player that could slot into either,
That awareness.
depending on where we needed the depth if there were injuries and things like that.
Oh yeah,
I think it's interesting with Lucy Parker, sorry Nick, that Carla bought her as a midfielder, not as a defender.
I think is that where she like prefers playing?
I don't know. But definitely there was conversation because there was a
Can't
video
remember
with
my sources.
Maz and Kenza and Carla last year
oh, the sticker. I
with
thought
the sticker.
that
and-
was Dan Turner.
No, that was sure that was Lucy Parker.
For some reason I thought it was Dan Turner because we played Dan Turner in midfield last season, didn't we? Because of all the injuries.
Yeah, but I think
Didn't
Lucy
happen.
Parker was when Lucy Parker played initially. It was Lucy Parker in defensive mid.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. No, I remember that video. Yeah. Yeah,
So
Lucy
lucky
Parker.
we all knew it was a
Because
sticker.
they were all confused. They were like, she's not a midfield. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I remember.
I love that I remember that completely backwards.
We just need more Dan Turner videos, clearly. That's what it is. Need more socials. So thank you very much for those questions. And again, on social media, please do follow us, get involved, ask us the questions. That's exactly what we love, and we can bring these segments into the show. So thank you very much. Now then, what we'll do, we've got lots of internationals coming up. So we're just going to have a quick run through of who's in action where, and then we can look ahead to Arsenal after the break, because I know we're all excited for that one. So international break at the moment. Now the League Cup action is out of the way. As far as we could tell, no fixtures for Maz of the Philippines. Annalita, of course, still out with concussion. It seems like a bad one. So let's start with our youngsters. So Ruby Ray Tucker is repping our Villa youth in the under-19s who are starting their Euro qualifiers. That actually started yesterday, and they had a 2-1 win over Turkey, so phenomenal. Tucker started and was subbed in the 62nd minute for Birmingham City's Ava Baker. They are going to play Italy on Saturday and then Poland on Tuesday. So that's their group stage, and hopefully we wish them well to get into the next stage. Our under-23s, now, Missy Kearns and Katie Robinson are in the squad, but did we all see Missy Kearns has had to withdraw because of concussion protocols? Yeah. So Katie Robinson actually captained the side and led them out earlier, which ended 0-0. That was against Norway.
I do on the concussion protocols front. I don't know, has the threshold for that changed? Because there seems to have been loads this year. It's a good thing if it has.
I think standard is 6 days, but it depends on the.
It feels like every game weekend there's a player that's out.
Yeah.
Across like all teams.
Yeah, it seems like they've really tightened up on what they're looking for with concussion as well, which again is fantastic. It also makes you wonder how many concussions have they not?
Well, wasn't there? Is it Sinead Farrelly who had to retire because of concussion?
Oh, that rings a bell. Yeah, maybe.
I think she had to go see a specialist, and they were basically like, "Yeah, you're gonna need to retire right now because you're one more head knock away from like serious brain damage." Like,
oh wow.
And she was out for years because she didn't play, obviously, for a long time. Like,
yeah. I don't think people realize how serious concussion is. Actually, when you really look at it. So yeah, we're all for these protocols being tighter. And we wish Missy Bo a speedy recovery. So that was against Norway tonight, as just said. They then welcome Sweden on Monday, the 2nd of December, at the Eco Power Stadium, which is home to Doncaster Rovers. So if anyone fancies a trip up to see the under-23s, they're there on Monday.
I could have got free tickets for that one through my football club, but we have our little club group on a Monday evening, and I'm not prepared to take 10 under-10s that far on a Monday evening.
Your little small mammal group.
Yeah.
I love that you just placated me now. Yeah, that's fine. Right, okay. Friday then. So Anna Patton is in action for the Republic of Ireland tomorrow at 7:15 against Wales. And of course, Republic of Ireland and Scotland, which our lovely Kirsty Hansen's been called up as well. that's for their Euro qualifiers still. Okay, so remember, they still need to win over these two-legged, I think we're in round 2 now of these stages. So they need to win at this final shot again to the Euros. So Republic of Ireland are against Wales and Scotland are up against Finland. And then on Tuesday, they obviously swap for the second leg of the tie. 2 Canadians, Dree and Sabs, are up against Iceland at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Noel is up against Germany with Switzerland at 7 o'clock. And Chastity for the Netherlands is up against China at 7:45 tomorrow as well. Saturday, Kenza, obviously for France, versus Nigeria at 8:10. What I did notice, all of these kickoff times are really bizarre. We've got like a 8:10, a 5:20, a 7:45, 7:35. It's like, just pick up.
What time's the Lionesses kick off on Saturday? I
5:20.
was prepared.
5:20. I mean,
I do appreciate that they're sort of split over Friday and Saturday, so it's not all happening on one night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. And then, of course, we've got the Lionesses versus USA on Saturday, and then versus Switzerland on Tuesday. Now, Lionesses, quick one. I know quite a few of us are going, even though we don't have any Lionesses representing at senior level, because obviously Lucy Parker. What do we think? Have we got a chance against the USA? I know we've got to believe we've got a chance, but Emma Hayes is she's building a machine over there, isn't she?
Left their front 3 attack. They've left them out of the squad.
They
So
have.
I think that
Espresso. They're not in. No.
I think that gives us a shot. But
I can't even keep up with who's even in the lineup anymore. It's changed that many times.
Tell us, Joyce.
Hempo's still out, isn't she? For us.
Yeah, Hempo's just had a knee operation. I don't think we'll see her until at least
See her, yeah.
February-ish.
I was going to say, yeah, pretty after the new year.
Is Neve Charles back, or did I dream that? Sometimes I dream.
Not yet.
I did not dream
that.
I think she might be back on grass, but I don't think she's back back.
I have a feeling Bonpastor might have said she might be back for Chelsea after this.
Maybe that's what I saw. I definitely saw.
Yeah, I think she was close-ish.
We've got Wibben Moy's gone back in now, hasn't she?
Yes, my latest year has come out.
Which is fabulous news.
Couldn't be happier, Nick.
But has anyone else seen that Laetitia I saw yesterday is with the England squad?
She's gone back to
Yeah,
and now she's back.
So that made
it's like, well, if I thought concussion.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is there, because it seems like the country sent her back to club, and then club were like, "Nah, you're fine to deal with that. She can go back to country for a bit." Like,
"No, you're all right. You have her. No, you have her. No. We insist. You keep her with you at St George's." So yeah, not too sure, but she's ruled out of playing. So unless it's better environment.
Is she ruled out? Is she ruled out as in she can't play, or is she ruled out as in she's not been listed? Because she's still eligible for Tuesday.
Or maybe they're just keeping her on the list just in case, sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe she's still.
Let's check, shall we?
But then that would make a lot of one too many, unless they pulled someone else out. I can't. As I said,
friendlies though. Can you call up however many people you want to call up for friendlies?
Yeah, maybe it's just in the actual match day squad you can only list
so many people.
3.
Yeah, because I suppose they had training players, didn't they, before the Olympics?
Didn't they? Like,
yeah. So 5:30 on Wednesday. I love that they time these updates. It's great. My Laetitia is now with the England squad at St George's Park. Laetitia will continue to be assessed as she follows the return to play concussion protocol, and as previously reported, will miss Saturday's meeting with the USA. So maybe
Switzerland.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Lotta's still there.
I would rather Lotta, but
yeah, but we'll see.
I do like Lotta.
Indeed. But yeah, we wish all the concussion protocols.
Did we see as well before the game on Saturday? They're doing a presentation for Rachel Daly.
Yes, that was going to be my next.
So excited for that.
Good. Please, yeah, Emma. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I'm excited for that because it's not or anything. It's not,
Maybe it's just taking this long to get all the.
To be fair, they honoured Steph Horton in the last break, and she was been out of the England squad for 2 years. So
long time, yeah. So actually, a couple of months isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm glad she's being recognised though, because it's she needs it, doesn't she? So yes, lots of pictures, please, and videos from those going. Will be phenomenal. So with USA then, so we've got a shot. You never know, because it's two pretty much new teams, both got key players missing. So why not have a go? And then of course Switzerland on Tuesday facing Noel's side. I think we've probably got a better chance at winning against Switzerland.
Leah Walty's out as well, isn't she? Walty, I don't know how you say her name.
She had an abscess, didn't she? Get well to her as well. It seems like there's lots going on. So
we've got ex-Villa and Alicia Lehman's going to be there as well.
Ex-Aston Villa player Alicia Lehman.
You think the Italian commentators call her that?
Yeah. Oh, I would love it if they did. That'd be phenomenal.
Guarantee they don't.
On the international front, I said earlier, I think it was to Kate, it confuses me that Gabby Nunes hasn't been called up for either of the previous windows, because she made the Olympic squad, which was obviously only a squad of 18, but then hasn't been called up since, which are presumably larger squads that can be called up these windows, which is a little bit weird. For me.
Yeah, because I realised we were playing Australia earlier, and I was like, I'll just check, because I know Villa very confusingly posted a picture of Gabby with the Brazilian flag, and then the line asked, is she playing today? Because Brazil were playing. No. Not the squad, so I checked it anyway. That Australian match, though, if you didn't see it,
I really want to watch it. It sounds like it was spicy.
Oh, there was a red card. It was great.
Also, I feel like
Ford was scratching. It was great. Yeah.
One of my notes from the game when I was watching it is just Haley Rasso. I can't pronounce the surname.
Yes. Razzo was the
is feisty.
Feisty. Oh yeah, she's phenomenal. She was in the game earlier today as well.
Always prepared to fight somebody.
And that's how you've got to be if you're going to play the game. Yeah, Miri will tell you that. Lisa Stan will tell you that. always be prepared. So we've got some good internationals coming up then.
Can I just one other point on the Gabby Nunes front?
Yeah, go on.
I had a theory when he said it in the first place, and I wasn't sure if it was just me overthinking it, which I do all the time, or he just got confused. But in that press conference when you asked about Dree's minutes, and he said about the Achilles thing and managing minutes coming back from the Olympics and stuff like that. And then he finished the question, ended up talking about Gabby Nunes, about something else. And I wondered if he had actually been talking about her the whole time, because he said about her getting to the final when he was answering your original question. And I was like, well, she didn't, but Gabby did. And I wondered, thinking about the international windows and her not being called up, if it was actually her he was talking about.
That would make a lot of sense.
Clearly asked about Dree,
but then he did talk about the mental health, her not being left out because she needed a break, which she also did.
Yeah, and about being tired coming back from the Olympics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It could be that both of them were tired coming back from the Olympics.
No, it's just just
it was
just
at
the time,
wasn't it? Yeah.
And I just wondered if that maybe if it actually been her that was managing a small.
I think she came in, was injured.
Yeah. Then that would be why she's not been called up.
Yeah. Because I was surprised. Because, like you said, bigger squad, so you'd expect her to be there. Hopefully soon we'll add her onto our internationals list. But on Tuesday, just the final ones. Second leg of the Euros qualifiers, as we mentioned. Canada then face South Korea. France versus Spain, that'll be a good one. And Netherlands versus the USA are all on Tuesday as well. So good. Right then, final thing we've got to talk about. First game back our favourites, Arsenal. Now, as we mentioned earlier, that we almost won if we took it to just the 90 minutes with Maz. Of course, Maz being on and converting 1-0. Brilliant. And then there were 12 minutes of added time that I still don't have a clue where they came from. So we're going back. We're going back there. Now, Arsenal are in a really good place at the minute. We, as we've said, we aren't in a bad place. We're just not getting goals. Like that's our Achilles heel. Talking about Achilles. Now, Tracy, how are you feeling going into after this international window? They've all, well, a lot of them have had a break. Arsenal first game back. How are you feeling about it?
We're going to win.
Wonderful. That's what we need. Yeah, perfect. How many by? Go on, score prediction.
4-2.
I thought you were going to say 14.
Wow. 14-0. That's what it is.
No, 4-2.
4-2. Wow. Yeah, Becky's put there. Yeah, off a Lucy Stan corner. Yeah, straight in, doing it properly. Gary, how are you feeling about the Arsenal game after the break?
See the fact that we've held our own with all the top teams in the league. I don't fear them. You know, I don't fear them. I do think that we can go there and we can get a result. You know, as Tracy said, it would be nice to see them click. You know, it is just waiting on the team to click and actually putting the ball in the back of the net.
It's going to happen at the Big Boy Stadium.
It'd be really nice if it did. You know, I'd take 1 goal rather than 4. You know, I don't care. It'd just be nice to see the ball in the back of the net and actually come away with 3 points. But certainly I'm not afraid of Arsenal. We've held their own with Chelsea. We've held their own with Man City. You know, there's none of the teams there that could say they were about the steamroller or anything, you know. So, no, I would go in with confidence.
I do wish we'd played Arsenal at the start of the season.
Before they
changed
manager.
Found themselves again. Yeah,
I agree. I was just about to make the same point.
Although I'd much rather have faced Chelsea when we did, rather face Chelsea now.
Oh yeah, we faced a poor Chelsea. Luckily,
it was great.
I don't think we faced a poor Chelsea at all.
but compared to how Chelsea are playing now,
compared to how Chelsea are now,
we
faced, they weren't. Yeah, they hadn't got going yet.
We faced.
But I don't think they were poor. I think after not losing 5 games during pre-season, we were confident.
Yeah,
we were very confident, and I think that showed in that first game.
Yeah, definitely. Emma, how are you feeling about Arsenal?
So excited! I'm so good. Like I'm gonna have to just watch it at home now, but it's not for me to get there, which is really annoying.
That is really annoying.
I am really excited because I remember being at work last year and it was just so exciting, and I was so sad that I couldn't watch it. So yeah, I'm so excited.
So next time you might be able to actually go
one step
further every
I really
season.
wanted to go, but I just can't do it this year. Like it's so annoying.
I think we believe you. It's okay. You don't have to justify it. It's right. Yeah. Please excuse Emma from whatever she's doing. The football is more important. Yeah, absolutely. Sophie, how are you feeling about the weekend?
Yeah.
After the break.
Not sure how it's gonna go, but I don't think it'll be a ridiculous thumping kind of situation. I think we've beaten Arsenal before. Admittedly, I feel like that game Arsenal knew that they weren't getting Champions League. No, they were getting Champions League, but they weren't going to win the titles. So I think even if they'll never admit that they'd switched off for that game, I think psychologically they'd switched off for that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can beat them. A lot of their internationals, a lot of their players are out on international break, like the Australian players. They've got a lot of Aussies.
So you and Rebecca must be on the same wavelength. Yeah. Yeah. Australia won't play an international game against Chinese Taipei, so Aussie players won't be playing in that. Well, yeah. Or they might be only playing very, very small minutes. Yeah, absolutely. Because again, it's so much travel, isn't it?
And
Each
they've not got
door,
the
anyone-
Evolti.
And no Lee Volti as well. Yeah, absolutely. Emily, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah. I would love for us to win. I would love for us to just, even if it's a win that we get, even if everything hasn't clicked and we still manage to get a win, I would love that. I don't know. I can't. I'm struggling to see it happening.
I think I'd be happy with a draw or a win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, draw would be great. Yeah, keep the points up. Because again, if we look at the Super League table, even if we did get a point, that would pretty much still solidify us at 7th where we are now. Because if we look at next up, December. Yeah, Spurs are away to Everton. So you'd hope for our sake, Spurs will win that one. It would break them away a little bit from us, but it would keep Everton down.
No, Crystal Palace playing West Ham.
Yeah, this is
City are going to keep Leicester down. But like I think Sophie said through there, I think I've got a couple of things. It's West Ham Palace as well. So that's going to be the interesting one there to decide.
For the league, I kind of want Palace to do well in that one, just for the.
I think Palace
for someone coming up to be able to stay up this season.
And at the moment, if Palace did win that, just taking the other teams out of it, that would catapult them from 12th up to 7th. If they got the win. That's how tight it is down the bottom. We've got Palace, West Ham and Leicester all on 5, Everton and Villa on 6, Spurs on 7, Liverpool on 9, and then it jumps up to 15, 16, 19, 24. So between 6th and 12th, 2 points.
I do think, like on paper, probably if you look at our Arsenal game is one that you'd probably expect before the season that you might drop points on. But if we do, then the pressure on the West Ham game is just going to be immense.
Yeah. And we want good pressure, not the, oh no, pressure. Yeah. I would also just like to apologise. That was complete rubbish what I just said to you. Between 6th and 12th, there are 4 points. I was looking between 9 and 7, like, oh, it's 2 points.
I saw a graphic earlier, I think it was on the Barclays Women's Super League account. I can't remember what it was meant to be showing, but it included like the top 6, which I thought was an odd choice because you've got like the top 3 or 4 on like double digits, and then it included Liverpool, who are only on 9. And I was like, why? How have they made this graphic?
Yeah, why would you do that? Surely top 5. All the ones on double digits. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Nick, I've come to you last because we had a little thought, didn't we, that we could. We're going to play a little game for the end of the pod. Inspired by. Well, actually, Nick, do you want to introduce this one?
Okay, so inspired by the very random lineups. Instead of trying to guess what the lineup will be, we are going to. I've assigned each player a random number. Freya, Emily can see where this is going. Freya's got a random number generator, and we are going to generate a lineup as from the brain of Robert Powell, because this is possibly the only way that he could be doing this.
So first number up.
Goalkeeper, please, is
14.
I'll release the team at the end. I feel like that's the best way of doing it. Right. Okay. I'll take 4 defenders from left to right now, please.
Okay, we've got a 3, a 4.
I feel like these ones might be defenders.
Yeah. 7. And an 18.
And
I feel like I should be playing bingo.
now I'll take the 2 central midfielders now, please.
2 central midfielders. Okay, I can offer you a 19.
Okay, yeah.
And an 8.
And my left winger, please.
Number 12.
Number 12. Yep.
For anyone listening, this is going to be a real long,
right winger. Is William there?
Number 15.
I would like to point out that so far nobody is in their right position. And my 2 forwards, please, because that's how he likes to play.
Your 2 forwards are 20.
Okay, we've got 1 in position.
And a 9.
That's got to be Kenza.
Right. To be fair, this isn't complete. I could see him picking this. In goal, we have Patsy. Defence, left to right, we've got Leon, Sabs, Grant, and Daly. Our 2 central midfielders are Salmon and Turner. I could see him doing that, to be fair. On the left wing, we have Lucy Stanforth. On the right wing, we have Noelle Moritz. And our front 2 are Gabby and Maz.
That's not bad.
At least Noelle's on the right side.
Yeah.
Technically, Rachel Daly could probably make half a stab at right back if she wanted to.
Sab's outfield again.
Yeah.
She likes to go up for a corner, so that's
Hey, we're giving her the chance.
I could see him putting Salmon and Turner in midfield.
You know what? Why not?
But we've got Gabby as
just out of interest, because we really didn't see much of Salmon last season, but where did she play in Houston?
She was up front.
Is she a 9?
Yeah. She was anyway. Yeah, perfect. I can't wait to put that on a little graphic. That's going to be phenomenal. Versus Arsenal at the Emirates. Perfect. We'll get that lined up. Now, the one thing we also haven't done, Emma, did you have any gems from Commentary Corner this week?
I've got a few.
Wonderful.
I mean, wasn't the Chelsea game the only one that had commentary this weekend? So
not true. The Newcastle Liverpool one did.
The highlights got commentary.
That confused me. Like, why bother having? Anyway.
Yeah.
Who did that?
For a 2-minute video, could they not put it on the full 90?
Well, that would be sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. Whenever you're ready, Emma.
So, this is a bit like the Adriana Leon wants to sit the ball. Both teams like to play with the ball.
I mean, it helps.
I mean,
visible.
You can't play with it in your helicopter and it into the goal. Anyway, this one could have been an accent, but this is how I heard it. Screw up. Visit. She's not a spot.
She's not a spot. Well, yeah, I think I heard that one too. And it's like, no, it's Bizette.
Okay, so I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's in the wrong career. I'm just going to say that.
Uh-huh.
Again, I know he keeps coming back to that United front line, and he's just saying, just go back to LA. Just stay away.
As they then show blowing off the poles. Clearly it's Selby. Makes sense.
What I did like, just to interrupt slightly, on the Chelsea game, just to really emphasise the fact that it was windy, they kept cutting to the trees. Does anyone else see that? And they were like, look at the flag, look at the trees. Oh, it is very windy, yes. And it's like, all right, we understand.
God, having a moving camera, that would have been nice for Arma.
And it also blew the lines out of...
Someone sat on the roof with the camcorder like we got.
Hey, the Villa camera did move when it looked up into the stands for a little bit.
Probably someone pushed it, like, oh, hang on, this is meant to be...
I generally think it was just someone sat on the roof. Like it's given like 90s holiday videos. Like
Look over there. Oh, right.
I can't remember what this was about, but it was just an odd comment. Hannah Hampton will
It's a good
think
way to
twice
start.
about coming for those balls now. I think she might have gone down.
That was when someone jumped into her and absolutely took her out. And I
Yeah,
can't remember
Rachel
who it was.
Yeah.
Rachel Williams.
Rachel Williams. Yes.
That was
Sounds
it.
about right.
That was an odd comment because clearly it didn't stop her. And then again, this one could have been a miss here, but we've got Rachel Williams as a goalkeeper. Okay,
Rachel Williams is a goalkeeper.
Was he looking at RDP's team sheet there?
must have been.
Maybe he's getting confused with like netball positions. Maybe he's thinking like goal attack or something.
Go shoot. No, goalkeeper.
Go attack, go shoot him.
We've got the classic
Go on.
Hayley Razzo.
Mm-hmm.
It's an S, not a Z. And this one wasn't a commentary, but I was reading the match report from Villa from the game. And I'm not sure they even passed English at this point. Like, I know where they're going. I know exactly where they're going with this comment. But it doesn't make sense. Adriana Leon had the ball in the back of the net for Villa. 4 minutes. Huh?
Maybe if there was VAR.
Oh, I remember reading that. Yeah.
It needs to be
yeah,
punctuation
hang
in
on.
that sentence for it to make sense.
In fact, I've highlighted it. Adrian Leon had the ball in the back of the net for Villa 4 minutes after the restart. So yeah, they need
that makes sense now.
It's
yeah.
2-4.
But there needs to be. They made it sound.
However, what they did also do, the end of that sentence, they said, after the restart, as turned home across from Robinson, but the offside flag was raised.
Yeah.
Not raised.
Good
Raised.
England.
Yeah.
Good England.
Wasn't it last season that the
better words? Yeah.
Wasn't it last season that the club said that Lucy Parker had gone in for knee surgery when Lucy Parker on her own socials was like, "Come with me to my ankle surgery."
Yes.
There was one more from the United match. They kept calling her Jade Riviera.
Oh,
Riviera,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no A in her surname. What to tell you?
Literally.
I really think we need more of the videos of players saying their own name, please.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Because there's the fantastic resource out there called WSL Names, and where possible, there are YouTube clips of players saying their own names, or in interviews, or in their native language, or native interviewers calling them by their name. And it's a fantastic resource, and we talk about it all the time. So that's WSL Names. If anyone wants to see it, it's a Google Doc that's been added to all the time, and it's fantastic. But again, you don't know it's there unless you know. So here we are spreading the word. And also, you're absolutely right. On social media, at the start of every season, there should be a meet the team.
So
And that should be
last year, I think it was, I was saying to my partner, I was like, the teams should have, when you go onto the team, the club website, and you go onto the teams and you click on the women's and you get all the players, there should be a little speaker button that you can press and you hear them saying their own name. And I went on
like this. Erin Cuthbert.
More like Mappy Leon, who is excellent at it and can do everybody's.
She was phenomenal, yeah.
But I went onto one of the NWSL teams. I think it might have been Washington Spirit or one of them, and they already had it. They had it for all their older players, not the newer signings, but they had a little speaker, and you could click on it, and you could hear the players saying their own name. And I was like, "Can we have more of this, please?"
Yeah.
Well, they tried it for the Olympics, and it was awful. There was the wrong sound clips.
So much background noise.
Background noise. They were playing table tennis in the background. People going,
Spanish
"You want us to say what?" And then did their name. It just, yeah. So if they can do it properly, again, NWSL showing us how it's done. then yeah, we can absolutely get that done. So Sophie, if you just want to write a letter to all the
A
clubs,
very nice letter to everyone in the WSL and Championship.
dear sir or madam or whoever it may concern,
Whoever is in charge of the websites,
yeah,
please can we have a speaker
just
icon
one thing. That's all we need. Just
with the
one
players saying their own name.
Yeah. So then we can get it right and it becomes just habit that you say it the right way. Absolutely. Emma, did you have any more?
No, I was just going to say that there was one a few weeks ago about a crowded penalty box, and it said crowed penalty box. So clearly these match reports are read. Like clearly it's like my autocorrect, but worse because it's being at least my autocorrect isn't being published.
I'm sure as well. Didn't Alex Scott once call Hayley Rasso Hayley Rasu?
Oh, I'm not sure about
sure
that.
she might have said it. I was talking to someone. I might have been talking to Chloe, who I did the other pod with, and she was like, hang on, so how do you say Rasso? And we were like, Rasso. She was like, right, because Alex Scott definitely said it to rhyme with lasso and Rasu. I have no idea. So we'll put a pin in that one and see how she does actually.
We did on the commentary front. I think in the highlights of our match there was an ex-Gunner mention when they were talking about Anna
It
Patterson.
was only like 3 minutes of highlights.
How did they still
I know,
manage to get
still
in?
managed to get it in. It's been years now, guys.
When she does her little voice thingy, she needs to say ex-Gunner Anna Patterson.
Ex-Arsenal defender Anna Patterson. She's never going to be Villas, is she? She's always going to be ex-Arsenal defender Anna Patterson. She'll be on a new profile bio. That's what it should be. Ex-Arsenal defender.
Though I did hear Laura Blinkiller-Brown be referred to as ex-Villa midfielder the other week. So
got an ex-Villa midfielder.
I will take that.
Nice.
Do you think she'll see any minutes
I really hope she
over
does.
the next
Similar to Lionesses.
games?
Probably
I
Switzerland.
think she could against Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a USA game she'll be put in. But yeah, I think Switzerland might be given a chance because she's good. She's bloody good.
Yeah, what a loss.
And not ours, which is very annoying. But still. Right then. So, has anyone got any final thoughts that we haven't mentioned that you'd like to discuss? Bearing in mind, we will be back next Thursday, of course, and we'll be discussing internationals and anything more about Arsenal then. But yeah, anyone got anything burning they'd like to share?
No,
Oh,
I don't think so.
Emily, you've only got a list of what's going on?
Can't think of anything.
That's absolutely fine. I haven't took yous all off. There we go. Perfect. Just in case you thought I'd just gone right. I've had enough of you lot. Okay, so thank you so much to everyone getting involved in the chat, getting involved online, and just watching. Thank you so much. So we are here on Thursdays at 8 o'clock, unless otherwise advertised. And we are in association with the Hull 15 Yards and the Aston Villa Women Fan Club, of course. That's where we all come from. And you can follow us on the following. So on TikTok, you can find all the content on the Hull 15 Yards or the AVW_fan club. On Instagram, we are part of the Pride Pod. And on Twitter, we are part Pride Pod. And I still need to set up Blue Sky. I will make myself a note right now because all the nice people are over there. I don't know if anyone else is on Blue Sky at the minute. Yeah, people are really nice and they just talk about sunsets and reading and anime, and it's quite nice. No horrible people as of yet. So leave that there. So yes, if you don't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and of course on YouTube as well. We're nearly at 60 subscribers, guys. 60. We were just celebrating 40 the other day. Yay. So we are getting there. So yes, thank you so much to everyone who's supporting, listening, and the audio will be on Spotify very, very soon as well, if that's how you prefer to listen.